Spencer said he was on his way up, but then Roland said he's in traffic.
Did you talk to Nosferatu out there?
Oh, gosh. Figured I'd get on a plane. Oh, good.
Really? How about you get on another one?
Yeah, exactly. I wish he said that when the Big Bopper was taking a flight.
So glad I pay him a shitload of money so I could take care of my problems by myself. Thank you. Where do I sign up for that one?
You think he's a day late and $1 short?
Oh my God! I figured I'd get on a plane. Really? I got to go pick up my kid after the show.
I think Quentin's going to sign him thinking it's a Dusk Till Dawn prop.
Oh, here he comes! Fuck yeah!
Yeah. Quentin Tarantino
this guy.
making his way.
Raise that for him, please. Yeah.
What was the death movie again?
Death
Proof. Yeah, because he talked about that recently.
Death Car.
Death Car. Death Proof. There he is. Usher Quentin Tarantino right in,
Tarantino,
sir.
fuck yeah!
How you doing, man?
That's what I say.
How you doing? Good to see you, mate.
Pleasure.
How you been?
Pretty good.
How do you guys know each other?
Well, I don't really know. I didn't know of him. I've seen his specials on HBO.
Son of a bitch.
And we did Leno together once.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you know, it is
pretty
just a couple
goddamn
of guys who enjoy each other's work, a couple of big
similar
stars.
ilk.
Yeah, none of similar ilk.
We just hate when people recognize him. We really don't like that at all.
It goes to his head. Yeah.
Well, I remember you on the Louis C.K. show that was on Showtime, I think.
HBO, yeah, Lucky
HBO.
Louie.
Yeah, and I had never seen you before when I saw you on that, and then I just happened to be turning the dial on, I don't know, about 8 months later, and I saw I came in the middle of your stand-up special, and I pissed my pants.
Oh,
I thought
thanks,
it was
man.
so funny.
Thank you, man. Thanks.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
God damn
great.
it.
Oh, I'm very happy.
You know about your Golden Globes?
I just literally on the drive here about 3 blocks ago just found out about
Damn, I
that.
thought I was going to break it to you. Nominated for 5 Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino.
Wow,
for Django.
Great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think, where it gets, it was one of the, Harvey Weinstein was saying, he was saying, okay, the turning point's going to be tomorrow. We'll see. We'll be in the game in a big way come tomorrow, and you want that, but you're also trying to manage expectations, so you're not totally bummed out when it doesn't happen. But this sounds like a pretty good year.
Is that and that stuff is still exciting to you?
Oh, it's totally exciting. Well, I worked real hard on the film and everything, and actually, it's actually kind of fun to go to. It's fun to go to the Oscars. It's fun to go to the Golden Globes and have a good time with your colleagues.
Yeah.
And to know that you're one of the guys that they're all focused on. It's got to be a little bit bummy if you're like, there's no mention of you whatsoever. But when you're one of the guys, that's got to be even better.
Yeah. I mean, you have to keep perspective on it. I mean, some of my favorite movies have never been nominated or won anything. All right, Good and the Bad and the Ugly wasn't there. All right, at the Golden Globes and wasn't there at the Academy Awards. I think it's the best movie ever made.
Fantastic,
Wild Bunch wasn't there at the Oscars. So you got to keep it in perspective.
Whoa. Yeah.
Wait, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly didn't win anything for...
Nah, it was considered Italian junk.
Yeah, just a dumb little spaghetti western.
Exactly.
It didn't become a classic till later.
Yeah, that is an amazing movie, too.
That's my favorite movie of all time.
It really is, huh?
This reminded me of a Sergio Leone vibe too, because I saw Django last night, and the way it was filmed, like the colors of the film, and the head-on shots. Although there's a lot more blood in yours than there was in his.
Well, you like the blood there.
Quentin. But in particular though, I was going off of a spaghetti western vibe of doing my western. That's probably my favorite subgenre in all of cinema is spaghetti westerns. I'm a big fan of them, and so I knew when I did my western, I would want it to have that kind of vibe, that kind of operatic music, and that whole larger than life aspect of it all.
Yeah, is it rough to go from genre to genre? You've done that. I mean, and very successfully. Crime movies, horror.
Yeah.
You've done pretty much it all. What do you have to really take a lot of time to adjust what you're doing?
Well, I think. Not really. I guess the adjustment happens during the writing of the script.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it might be actually a little different if I was going out there and just reading scripts and finding, oh, hey, here's a good Western I could do. Here's a good detective movie I could do. I mean, that might be a little different, or the process would start then. But no, the process starts with, like, literally the blank piece of paper, and me filling out 170 pages, all right, and having a script. So it all just comes down to the story.
Do you write longhand still, or
absolutely?
You do? Why?
Can't write poetry on the computer, mate.
Wow.
You could creatively, you could think better if you just have the pen in your hand.
No,
right?
that's exactly. Well, that's how I've always done it. And it's I've kind of. Yeah. I don't even know if I believe in God, but I do feel that my pen is my antenna to God as far as writing is concerned. But actually, the way the process has kind of evolved though is I actually ignored this part of the process for like the middle point of my career and got back to it on Inglourious Basterds. And now how could I have ever stopped doing this? Was when I wrote Reservoir Dogs, I wrote it out. And normally when I'd written something before, I couldn't type. I would talk friends into typing things up for me. Well, I used my last friend as far as that was concerned. Enough of this typing shit, all right? I'll drive you to the airport, I'll help you move, but fuck typing your shit. And fair enough. So in that case, I wrote Reservoir Dogs longhand, and I had to type it up. And I couldn't type, and I didn't even have a typewriter. I borrowed my girlfriend at the time, her little Smith Corona word process from 1987. Her Smith Corona word processor / typewriter with like a little floppy disk with a memory of 30 pages on it. It's for college kids doing papers. And so I borrowed it, and I just typed it up, one finger at a time. And that's how I did Pulp Fiction. And I kind of got away from that, and I went back to it again in Inglourious Basterds. Again, using her Smith Corona word processor. All right, I'm kind of superstitious about that. Also, it's idiot-proof. I can't fuck it up on that.
That's true. Yeah.
But literally, the whole process of me writing by hand, when I now have to type it up by one finger and just literally, I don't trust it to hold anything from memory, so I print up every page as I finish it.
Oh wow, good idea.
But it's that's an important part of the process to me. That's like that's the final draft coming out there. I mean, because I do tend to, I think people do. You tend to overwrite when you're writing by hand because it just costs you nothing. To just blah, 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 blah with the pen. But when you got to type it up with one finger, if the shit ain't motherfucking Shakespeare, it's got to
go. Never thought of it like that. Yeah. It better be important.
It better be good.
Typing stinks.
It's the worst.
Wow.
Did you write the script and then pitch to Harvey Weinstein, or did he say, I want you to write something about this? Or did you say, I'm thinking about something with slavery? Or how did that happen with him?
No, I never do a pitch kind of thing. The only reason you do pitches is if you're want to be paid for writing your script. I don't want to be paid for writing my script. I want people to buy my script. I want to, we're going to make this movie when I'm done. So I want to own it up until the financing is concerned. So I always write it on spec. I always just write it myself. It's mine. And so then I don't have to explain it. I don't have to sell anybody on it. I give them the script. They either like it or they don't. And the movie is right there. So you read it, it's, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
And you're getting a lot of flack is like the Drudge Report because the word nigger was used a lot. And my take on it was used a lot, but it almost felt like in this day and age, it's such a shocking word that you desensitized people to it, which kind of fits that time. Like that is how it was used in that time.
If 15 years from now they create a you don't want to hear the N-word. In 15 years from now, if they create time travel, don't go back to the antebellum South. It's kind of a fucked up time. And if you don't think it was used as much, if not more, and that actually kind of really is my answer to the question, is like, what, do you think that I overused it compared to how it was used in the antebellum South? Yeah. If not, shut up.
You showed how, I think it was
good
brilliant.
for you, by the way.
You showed how comfortably people, because to hear people saying that type of stuff with black people at the table, it's jarring, but that's how it was.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got you've got that whole upstairs downstairs situation going on with the house servants and then the people who live and the people who own the plantation, and you have like a kind of like the sort of like honor guards. They're standing behind every guest, waiting to those three girls that are behind the diners, and they're furniture. They're not people. Shit. They are furniture. They were referred to as furniture. They're not supposed to they're not supposed to do anything. They're not supposed to make any living things. It's just if somebody needs salt, they give salt. Take the plate away. Pour more wine. Just supposed to be furniture.
Yeah, it was really amazing when you show, because you would get like a huge laugh in the scene. I was amazed that you got laughs addressing slavery, and then the next moment it jumps to a tremendously sad moment. I think emotionally, I cried watching this movie.
Nice.
It's by far the most emotionally amazing thing you've done.
Thank you.
I couldn't believe how many different places you took me with it.
Well, I really like orchestrating orchestrating the audience's feelings and their emotions. Like, I kind of almost feel like if I'm doing my job to the fullest of my ability, I should be like
conductor.
Conductor, thank you.
Yeah.
I almost said painter. Shit.
Yeah. I should be like a symphony conductor, and the audience's reactions are my orchestra.
Wow, yeah.
And I mean, and now that's a heavy duty thing to want to try to do. And then when I get no response, at certain screenings, I know I have completely failed.
Wow.
Because there should be a laugh here or there should be a this. But, to me, really part of the thrill is to just be mixing those emotions and taking you up and down, and especially trying to do it with comedy where it's like laugh, 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 stop laughing, stop laughing, horror, suspense, laugh.
Yeah, that's got to be very difficult to do when you're writing something, because you can't just go from certain things into laughing. I mean, there's last night at the 12-12-12 concert, there was a prime example of a complete fuck up as far as that's concerned. They went from a filmed piece about some horrific, destruction and people losing their houses, and some woman is literally screaming and going, "And we lost everything!" And it stopped dead, and then the announcer goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Rock." And it was like,
I felt the exact same thing. I was like, this poor bastard.
He's taking thanks a lot.
Yeah, and Chris is standing like, what the fuck did you do to me?
What did I do to you?
Yeah. So there's got to
the comedy stylist, Christopher Rock.
Yeah, it was terrible. So there's got to be some kind of, leading into
you gotta bridge
where
that
you're
stuff.
going. Yeah, bridge it, right. Yeah, you've always done that very, very well, and getting laughs out of things that are like horrific at the moment. The prime example, of course, you've heard it 1,000 times in Reservoir Dogs, the ear.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy gets his ear cut off, a horrific scene. And then when Michael Madsen starts to, hello, can you hear me? He's talking into the ear. You can't help but laugh as you're fucking horrified.
Right.
And since he's was last here, we've met Michael Madsen. He's nuts, right? you always knew, did you always know that he was nuts? We love him, by the way.
Yeah.
He's a very honest man.
He's gotten a little more nuts. I say that with nothing but love and affection.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he had to tone it down to play Mr. Blue.
One of our favorite moments on the show, he came in and then he went through all his movies that he's done recently and explained why he did each movie. It was brutal. It's I owed child support. This was for a mortgage. This was, I owed I don't know.
I would love if you guys could yank that out of the files for me. I would love to hear that.
Absolutely.
That sounds like
really funny.
Michael going through his straight to video filmography.
Oh, why he
would
did
be
them.
hysterical.
He didn't hold back at all, man.
Now he's
it was the first time someone finally admitted that they actually do movies because they owe a little money, and they're like, all right, fuck it, I got to do this one.
He's a great guy.
No, we love him.
I know.
Don't confuse the vibe.
I get. No, I'm not at all.
When we know he's coming in, we get very excited.
No, it's obvious you guys have appreciation for
I love him.
And he's a great actor.
Growing up, obviously, you must have seen the blaxploitation movies. Who was in those? Because he played in this.
Rudy Ray Moore did a bunch of those.
Ghost of Nigger Charlie was one of them.
Oh, you mean Fred Williamson?
Yes, Fred Williamson.
No, it's called The Legend of Nigger
Legend,
Charlie.
right. Yeah. They made did they make a couple of those?
They made two of them. The Legend of Nigger Charlie and Soul of Nigger Charlie.
Soul, right.
Well, The Legend of Nigger Charlie was really kind of important. It's not a bad movie. It's hampered by the fact that it has almost no budget whatsoever.
Right.
But I mean, it was still released by Paramount. I think the Paramount logo cost more, than the movie. But it was unique and pretty much unique up until the time that this movie was made. It's the only movie that shows us that depicts a slave narrative where a slave gets a gun, kills overseers and leads a Western style revolt.
Right.
Not a Nat Turner turn over the plantation kind of revolt, but they take over a town and fight a bunch of ragtag Confederates.
Right. Yeah. That kind of reminds me of
it was
what
funny.
you've done.
Yeah. It was funny because there was a little tiny bit of that just even in my thought process when I wrote this film, because I remember one of the producers of my movie is Reginald Hudlin, who is a director who directed House Party, Boomerang. And we were talking about another movie that dealt with slavery, and he was talking about how he didn't care for it. He said, movie made with the best intentions in the world, but